This is a new webinar series. There are 6 in the series, and we're really excited. Today is the first episode, Improving Document Creation and Management. So I'll say, hi everyone, I'm Clive.
Hey everyone, this is Louis.
This is Akos.
And today we're going to be talking about improving your document creation and management. We all know that documents are critical for business. Yeah, every business pretty much runs on documents. You have so many different types of documents as well: contract documents, checklists, brochures, contracts for this, contracts for that. You have lots of different things that you're managing, and it really is important for a business. You can't go through a day without managing or doing something with a document potentially. But not everyone likes documents as much as John Oliver. I think
that's way too much. That's way too much paper for me. I'd leave my office from there.
So unfortunately, because there are some troubles, this is what we're going to talk about today, how to solve them. But the challenge is, in an IDC survey came out, there were 1,200 information workers that were surveyed across a number of different countries. And they came up with 21% loss in productivity due to a loss of these challenges. And the loss of productivity specifically due to creating documents and reviewing feedback, searching for files, trying to bring things together, it's already time consuming. So I can see a lot of the feedback in the survey already. I think a lot of people are also experiencing these at the same time. So instead of being like this, we want to improve it. We want to help people to find the right documents and manage the right workflows and get approvals a lot more quickly. If we look at our traditional process in the design and construction industry and across a lot of other industries as well, what we tend to find is we start off by finding a file, maybe on SharePoint, shared drive, or Google Docs, or Dropbox, or something like that.
Or just Google.
or just Google it for as well. And you would use that template to start off, but you'd make changes to it. Some data loss in this workflow, different versioning. As you want to share it, you wait until the whole document is ready before you PDF it, send it on an email potentially. Maybe sometimes collaboratively editing a document as well, but in a very unstructured and very sort of chaotic sometimes way. And then as you gather feedback, lots of feedback from lots of different people, trying to incorporate all of that into a single document and managing lots of different versions is sometimes a challenge. And then the unfortunate nature is that when we publish the final document, we are extracting just a version and we're disconnecting it from all of that really important history that is traceable, trackable, and important from a contractual perspective as well. So we get frustrated. I've been wanting to do this in the past. It becomes too frustrating and you want to throw your machine away. So today we're going to talk about solutions, thankfully. The 3 demos that we'll go through, and then we'll also look at how, from a practical perspective, some advice and some tips to get started if this is a workflow that you're interested in implementing. So the first one is intelligent templates. What is it? I don't even know what it means. What does intelligent templates mean?
I think you just made that up.
It does sound like something some marketing team somewhere has just made that one up. I agree. So maybe let's dig into what intelligent templates should be or could be. And in this example, we're going to show you how making just even that search, as Louis said, on the internet, if you Google for something and you find some templates, in this example, we're finding contract templates on the internet and downloading a project manager's contract as a Word document, a landscaping contract, and a construction contract. And these 3 downloaded Word files are then just dragged and dropped into the Plannerly Plan module.
So this is starting with your own document here. If you do have one already, or if you're searching from somewhere else.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So just a document that you have from your existing standards. And as you drag and drop it, it starts to create structured data. Instead of it being one block of text in a word processing file, we're able to have a lot more structure to it. And the text is then reusable in a format that can be collaborated on across teams. So the next step would be to make this document intelligent. And here we are simply replacing some of this text with a smart field, which is a date, and then another smart field, which could be a specific party. Here it's the appointing party, the team that's paying the bill. quite quickly, we are creating a structured document that has fields that will be automatically completed as everyone across the organization is going to use this document. What happens with intelligent templates is that we consolidate everyone's knowledge. So all of those different disparate files everywhere else can be consolidated into one central cloud-based knowledge base. It's simple. You're not needing to be a programmer to be able to add the intelligence to it. And then everything you've created is easy to be able to distribute across your teams. So that's creating intelligent templates to start with. How do you use them in your document creation workflow? When we create a new project here, we're going to call it the best project name ever. And we're going to use the plan module. We're presented with templates. This is something that out of the box teams can use, but you can also use your own. And as we start with these templates, this example, we're going to choose the EIR and the appointment documents. And instantly, because we had that field saying the project name must need the project name, the title of the project, it's automatically completed inside of that. So it's going to save you a lot of time as you create these.
So that's what that means, huh?
Intelligent templates with SmartFields.
This really provides teams the opportunity and a visual of where exactly they need to apply project-specific documents. So typically teams do this by highlighting some text in red saying replace me, which is kind of risky at times because we might not see them. This automatically does that from project to project and can be linked between documents. So doing it once, you'll see that information in the EIR and in the appointment document.
Yep, absolutely. And overall, as we create smart documents, we're automating a lot more. We're making sure that if, as Louis said, you're not having to highlight fields and then doing a find and replace is so 1990s. This is an opportunity to reduce creation time by up to 90%. Administration burden is what we focus on, and making that simple and fast and something that's actually sometimes fun to do as well. As you've created a document, you need to get somebody's approval on it. So in this workflow, we allow teams not to wait until the whole document is ready, but as you are working on the in-progress version in the background and adding like a date for one of the smart fields, that part of the document is just in progress, and in progress content cannot be seen by viewers. So what this means is that that document continually evolves rather than waiting until the document is completely finished before that is shared with anyone for feedback. Waiting for and building up and sending big blocks of data causes backlog, causes
bottleneck.
Time consuming.
Bottleneck, because you're basically, if you can't publish because you're trying to review or edit for information from someone else, makes a bottleneck for the entire document. I think for the in progress state for viewers, this gives privacy for your team to work and edit. And then while having an owner or another team in the project already referencing other documents or other sections, but because they can't see that, gives you the privacy to work on that specific section until you're ready to share that with them.
Yep. And then when you are ready and you share that content with the viewers as well, and also being able to simultaneously collaborate with the editors to complete some of the content that maybe is missing. So this is mentioning, can you please help with the 2 remaining fields? And then when you're happy with it, publish it. So being able to communicate with these teams and have a commenting thread that's linked to the specific piece of the document, and in bite-sized pieces, progress them through rather than waiting for that whole document is really powerful. And we see it in action here when we are progressing from in progress to published. The viewer will then be able to start seeing pieces of that document, which is really powerful, and it reduces the bottlenecks that Louis was talking about there. When we have got all of the information and we want to publish it, obviously we don't want all of those highlights everywhere, so it removes the highlights and it enables you then to publish the document and also export it as a PDF. And importantly, some of those sections were maybe not ready to be published. So instead of having to filter through. I mean, imagine if you had a word processing document and you wanted to release it as a PDF, but you only wanted parts of it to be seen. Going through, what do you cut? You cut those pieces out, and then you save a version. Here, you would just filter. So we filtered for only the published content, and that was the content that would be exported in the PDF. So having intelligent fields inside of a template that get completed and having a built-in approval workflow in a bite-sized piece, bite-sized fashion, it enables you to have access to the document continuously. And all of those versions, as you're collaborating with many people, are tracked. And all of the comments on those are also tracked and retained, so that in the future, it's not completely disconnected. So contractually, you are really backed up with versions and also comments and approval process, who approved this specific part of the document. So it reduces the time to review updates. You're not collecting and collating information from lots of different places as well. So let's talk about the 5 tips to get started. The first one, maybe Akos, you can walk us through who should we involve in the process?
Well, anyone who is working with documents, right? So working with documents is not a BIM thing. We have all the different kind of departments in, or just individuals in a company who might have to create and share and contribute to documents. And we learned it from our users as well, that actually they want to follow pretty much the same workflow in different departments. So anyone who is working with documents, and if you want to streamline how you are creating documents, how you are approving, how you are signing documents, that's a good opportunity also to maybe, as I said, streamline the process. So pretty much anyone, any teams.
Yep, we're seeing lots of contracts teams and lots of estimating teams, procurement people building those. And then if you have those teams involved, what should we ask them, Louis? How do we get them involved, and what sort of questions should we ask them?
Yeah, more importantly, what information we want on the projects, what documents are important that we need to templatize or keep consistent throughout projects. So these are just some questions here that we think you should be asking yourselves, but maybe you have other questions that you should be asking. Each company is slightly different, so you guys would know more as to what questions you should be asking your teams.
So yeah, these are a few prompts that might be important. And then when you have those people, you ask the questions and you got some kind of idea. What do you do with templates, Akos? How could you get started? Either if you have templates or if you don't, what would you suggest?
Yeah, well, create your free account on Plannerly.com and then just you get access to templates supporting your ISO 19650 workflow. And that is coming in multiple languages as well. Depending where you are, you might find already these ready-made templates for you. And you get access to them and you can get started with this workflow that we just showed before, or you can start creating your own as well. As you've seen, to import Word documents into your projects, that's absolutely possible. And then you can start adding these SmartFields.
And then if we have people, we know which documents, how do we get started from a training perspective?
3 levels, starting with some of the basics, then advancing to more professional, and then more expert level. You can register with the link there. You'll be sent more information.
Cool. And then most important thing is you need to be able to measure something. So estimating what the return on investment might be and measuring what you're doing today, so that when you introduce the automation, you can compare it and then share information with the team to show there is real ROI. And this is actually one of the more simple versus how much does clash detection save us? Obviously, we know that it's beneficial, but it's very difficult to capture. Here, because it is an information management task that you do time and time again. How can you automate more of it? How can you reduce the time that it takes and reduce the errors that are involved in find and replace or trying to manage documents that are disparate and disconnected? So hopefully you've seen in the brief introduction how we use an intelligent template library that has fields in that we call SmartFields that you could either create from your Word documents or create inside of Plannerly. You can then drag and drop into your project and automatically create documents based on those fields being populated from the database. And when you have a document, you can go through an integrated approval workflow with the sharing and publishing and controlling who sees what, with commenting and connecting and updating this all the way. and then even exporting to a PDF as and when you need it.
All in one place.
All in one place, all in one place. So we're super excited to share about the next webinar that we're going to be talking about, machine readable project scopes. So the next episode, episode 2, is all about how to create collaborative and machine readable project scopes. And again, with Plannerly, we will look forward to seeing you on these webinars in the near future.